Hey everybody, remember this channel has been shadow banned by YouTube for quite some time. So if you want to keep up with my hijinks or you just don't want to miss out on a chance to call me a slur when I say something stupid, make sure you subscribe to my channel and go over to my channel page and turn on notifications. There's a link in the upper corner of this video where you can do just that. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Shooting the with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today I want to talk about what you all think that Sig should do about the P320 mess. Should they stick to their guns and say, hey, it's a great gun. Maybe it's not for everybody, but it's a great gun. Should they say, hey, maybe the gun's a little too persnickety for most people, so we're going to take them back, do an upgrade to them. And if you think they should do an upgrade, what do you think they should do? Trigger dongles, manual safety, heavier trigger pull. What do you think they should do? Or should they just completely redesign the gun and offer people to let them trade their old ones in? Whatever you think they should do, let me know, because now it's all about PR. So let's see how you think they should deal with it. I think personally, mainly because of how they marketed the gun, they should offer people upgrades to it. And I think one of the best upgrades they could do is slightly heavier trigger and a trigger dongle. I'll be doing some testing. I'll be doing a testing video tomorrow that I'm going to be showing you, that I've already done the preliminaries on, that shows the trigger dongle could solve all the problems. But that's what I think. I think they should offer to bring it back, and you can either have a manual safety installed. They'll make it from a 4-pound trigger to a 6 to 8 pound trigger, and maybe install a trigger dongle if you want one. That's what I think they should do, because even if the guns are totally safe, if you use them right, a lot of people aren't using them right. And a lot of people probably won't always be able to use them right. Like I know I couldn't. I know I'm eventually going to make a small mistake. And if the gun's not forgiving of that small mistake, I'm going to be in trouble. That's why I don't carry striker fire guns. So I want to hear what everybody else has to think. So let's go over here and see what viewers have to say. First, we got Sean Bain weighing in. They gave the people the gun they wanted. They found out they didn't want it. If I were Sig, I would do a trigger spring upgrade. So basically a heavier trigger. He's just going to give it a heavier trigger. That would probably solve most of the problems. I think people would be happy just if they had an option, because it was like with the trigger drop thing. Most people were like, that's never going to fucking happen. And I would rather have the trigger I have. But they offered them, an upgrade you could choose to do or not do. You're not required to do it. And the vast majority of people didn't do it. And the gun's not having problems with being drop safe. So just having the option, though, made a lot of people happier. Chunky D said, I think it's going to be difficult for Sig to do anything with the P320, but they should put a heavier trigger spring. That's one thing. MLS said, free advertising, Sig shouldn't do anything. Oh, yeah, but they're getting some negative press. Of course, a lot of people, I think there's probably just as many people that are like, fuck them, I'll buy a Sig now, as are saying I wouldn't buy a Sig, because a lot of people do understand what's going on. I wish more people understood that and called out channels that are like, what are you trying to do? Are you just trying to help convince juries that if guns aren't idiot proof, it's the gun's fault, not the idiot? And that's what they're doing. They're using their videos to convince juries of that very notion. C.L. Thomas, I wish we knew which ones they were, because I would publicize that to the hill. Be like, oh, look, this guy just helped the anti-gunners win a big lawsuit. Clinton Seattle says, I don't know the answer, but my LGS told me no one wants to buy any kind of Sig now because they're not happy with them at all. I don't know. I think last thing I saw says P365 is still the #1 selling handgun in the last little thing that they measured. So that was, I think, in July. So I think this is one of those things where the vast majority of people are unaware of anything because they don't follow the internet. So they don't even know there's a debate about the P320. Most people who walk into a gun shop don't even know that. The only place that's really an issue is among people who want to hear negative stuff in the gun community, on the online gun community. and the anti-gunners who want to use that in court. I think that's the only places it's really having a big impact right now, because I think most people don't know anything about it. It's like how, perception, your perspective, it means a lot. It's like people like us, we look at Hickok and we go like, he's fucking famous. But if you went out right now and polled 100 random Americans at an amusement park, who's this old guy? They'd be like, I don't know, was he on Hee Haw? Because they don't fucking know who he is. He's not famous. He's just gun community famous. The same thing, even like Mr. Beast. How many of us would recognize Mr. Beast if we walked past him at Safeway? I sure fuck wouldn't. He's YouTube famous. And a few of them have gotten a little more famous, but they're still only famous with a small number of people. If you don't watch TMZ or something. Where was I? Mr. Furley said, redesign the firearm or offer a replacement model. That would be something. John Mandrick, someone needs to figure out what is going on, then maybe a solution. I think we know what's going on. I think it's not a good gun for most people, because most people make mistakes with their guns. The SIG is a gun you have to be fully aware of what you're doing every time you holster it. You got to be fully aware of what you're doing every time you draw it. You got to be fully aware of what you're doing every time you handle it. And most people are not fully aware in all those situations. What I think is funny, though, is how many videos are out there right now of all these people doing quick draws and live fires from their appendix carry holster, and ain't none of them shot themselves with it yet. So that's funny, isn't it? Nobody is. Only people shot themselves are law enforcement and military and stuff like that. You think these guys doing their YouTube videos, maybe it's because they're extra careful when they're doing that. And I don't ever tell people don't do that, because it's not, it's going to, something untoward is going to happen or unusual is going to happen. I say don't appendix carry, don't fast draw, live fire stuff, not because the gun's going to go off on its own, but because you're going to make a mistake and shoot yourself. Felice Shanice says, exchange them for CZP-10 series. They're inexpensive and could save themselves some money. Well, I was thinking today when I was doing the testing yesterday and putting the guns back up today after cleaning them, I was like, this could all be solved if they just carried CZ75s. Better gun all the way around. Or if they could have stuck with the Berettas, better gun all the way around. George Powell says, discontinue, fix the issue, mark it as a new gun. It'd be kind of admitting defeat, though, I think. Johnny Mandrick weighed in again, says, SIG needs to stay in court, call out the shill YouTubers who are fear-mongering. I also thought that. I think that YouTube should take a page out of Dominion's, the voting systems playbook, and they should go and say, hey, these people are misrepresenting things on the internet and it's damaging our reputation. We're suing them. And people who said, well, look, if I push this down, it goes off. That shows the gun's unsafe and it's a bad design. It doesn't show that at all. You misrepresented what you just did. And I think SIG should go after them and say, that's liable. You're slandering us. We're taking you to court. So have fun fighting your way through court. Or maybe you should keep your mouth shut about things you don't understand. But that's just me. Let's see here. Mark Calkins used his 42-month WAP chat. He's been in my WAP for 42 months. Hopefully he came up for air every now and then. P320 might be too tainted to fix. Maybe make a service-size pistol that accepts the P365 module and replace the P320 with that. That'd be a lot of gun around the module. I don't know if that'd be necessary. But I mean, I guess they could do it, but I don't think it's necessary, to be honest, but I guess they could do that, yeah. Patrick Rowe put a little sticker up. I don't know what it is. I can't see it, but because I'm on the chat phone, so I can see the comments. It just shows me a star. Go Shadow says, make it double action striker, not fully cocked. That would be one thing they could do, but of course that would ruin the trigger. But it would ruin the trigger. And that was one of the whole points. The gun didn't have the typical striker 5 trigger. It was better than the Glocks and stuff like that. Paul Rawlerson donated but didn't say nothing. Is that Newt? Who's that? Is that Newt Gingrich? We got one more person weighing in. I don't think it has anything to do with the topic, though. So I think we'll save that for the next chat, for the shooting the shit, which we'll not shooting the shit, the America Guns and Freedom, which we'll do right after this. Oh, he said, what? The blue furry guy from the comics. That's what he meant by Mr. Beast. No, not the Beast, Mr. Beast. So he did have something to do with what we said in this chat. But that looks like that's it for today. I want to thank everybody for coming and participating. I appreciate it. How about you out in YouTube land? What do you think the SIG should do about the P320? Let me know in the comments section below. Is it fixable? And if so, how should they fix it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, come to our live chats. You can be heard. You can have your voice represented on the internet. Just come on in. Let us know what you think. It's open to everybody. We do it every day at 6 p.m. Every day at 6 p.m. We almost never miss a day. So come on in. Also, stick around for the after chat. I was trying to read something. Stick around for the after chat where we talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's open chat. You get to ask me whatever question you want to ask me. So come on into the live chat. Once again, thanks to the people today who participated. Hope to see everybody again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe till I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. I just want to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take kickbacks. We don't do discount codes. We don't take money from advertisers. And we definitely don't take money from big gun groups that want to tell us how to feel about things. So if you want to be part of the good things we do on this channel, please go over to tympistolproject.com, my website. There's a link in the upper corner, and either buy some custom merchandise or sign up for Subscribestar or Patreon. You can even get some pretty cool patches over there. So please go over if you can and help support the channel.